Hello, everybody. Welcome to
Hi.
Paint of Heart, which is our new little paint stream. I'm Angela, and this is Colton.
Hello.
If you don't know us, we are a couple of nerds, and we both really like to paint our miniatures because we have too many of them.
So many. It's problematic.
How are you today, Colton?
Good. I have way too much papers to write, but it's fine. Love being a college student. It's great. It's great.
You're doing great, bud.
Thanks. Thank you.
I want this to turn into kind of a Zen thing, and I don't have a good Bob Ross intro yet, but we'll work on it. So we are, I'm a little loud. I apologize. My announcer voice is, oh, fun. So Mouse is going to be cross-stitching. That's exciting. Fun. I want to come up with a good system for having you all be able to share pictures if you want during stream. So maybe as we do these, I'll have a process for that. Honestly, I'll put it in the chat, but if you go to our Discord server and go to the arts and crafts section, I might just start having that open. And I can share pictures of what people are doing while we're doing this. So I think that would be fun. This is not just a paint stream. I want it to be equal opportunity arts and crafts.
I support all arts and crafts.
All right. So, we are going to be painting, I think this is going to probably be the usual. I'm going to be painting a D&D mini, and Colton's going to be painting a Warhammer 40,000. Okay, so we talked about this during our tech test.
Yes.
Are you pro or anti calling it 40K, even though the creators don't want you to?
Yeah, so Games Workshop definitely does not want anyone calling it 40K. Please stop, guys. It's getting really annoying. I think calling it 40K is fun, so I call it 40K.
So Colton's working on a 40K mini.
Yes, and it's primed, but other than that, it doesn't have any color on it, so I'm going to do a full, hopefully start to finish today on it.
Let's see if I can... I don't know if anybody else backed the Chromatic Gamut Kickstarter, but it came with a stress brick.
Love that. That
says "Be gay, do crime." It's great. It's like my favorite stress ball, and I have a number of them. And for you, Colton, until I figure out how to do it better, you'll have to go to the stream to see my stuff.
No worries.
But I will figure it out. We will discover how to be able to both stream this and
I have three monitors.
Look at each other.
I can open Twitch on one of them.
That's fair. That's good.
Yeah.
So Colton has himself some pink horrors.
Yes,
from Warhammer.
I'm painting them blue, in defiance of God and man.
In a very like Alice in Wonderland sort of turn. You're painting them the wrong color.
Yes, because in the army that I'm building, which are chaos demons, there are pink horrors, and when pink horrors die, they turn into two blue horrors. I'm painting my pink horrors blue and my blue horrors pink to be a terrible person.
Now, is it just because you like the look of them in the other colors? Do they look different?
I don't like I have nothing against the color pink, but I prefer the color blue. And since my
but you went the opposite for the other ones too, right?
Well, I figured, if I'm painting the pink horrors blue, I might as well paint the blue horrors pink, right?
All right, everybody.
It's thematic.
Here's the test. This is the last time I get to drink from this glass, because this is my paint water.
Oh no.
We're playing on danger mode tonight.
Next time you're risking things I wouldn't.
No, next time I will get a better setup, and I will make sure I have a water cup. We'll take a bio or a water break at some point, and I'll grab some water. But so what I've got going is I'm choosing to say this is a spectator. I believe. I could check it if I wanted to, but I don't.
It only has 4 ice blocks.
Well, so it's by Reaper. And I mean, it's obviously a beholder-like thing. So, I tried to do the like mess with it in hot water to get it to resit, but it sort of reset on itself. So I didn't actually get it to, like move these little eye stalks like I wanted it to, but that's okay. We'll make it work. And then I have this like tree ant guy, this forest guardian. I am such a big fan of this mini. It looks so good. It's got such fun texture on it. Well, here, let me see.
It's probably the wrong word, but I like it.
What was the word?
I said cute.
Oh, he is cute. He's got like a very Groot energy.
Yeah, okay.
Which I appreciate. Yeah. All right, so we got these two going for me. I think I'm gonna start on the beholder just because I can make it more fun colors. The forest guardian, I'm a little scared that I'm gonna make it muddy. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see what I can do with it.
The great thing about nature spirits is they're supposed to be muddy. So
look at you making me feel better.
Right.
I'm looking for spectator because I think that's what it is.
No,
it's not a spectator.
Oh,
hold on.
I was going to say the Monster Manual 5th edition has spectators as being green, but BG3 has them being gray. So I'm pretty sure you can pretty much pick whatever color you want.
I'm pretty sure it is their beholder, as far as I can tell.
Okay.
Wow, people were doing Eye Beast.
Oh yeah.
You gotta love that.
Course.
There is somebody who has like what I can only assume is a needle point paintbrush or a literal needle making like pupils on the eye stalk eyeballs.
Oh my god.
All right, but I'm seeing some things that I actually really am inspired by, so I'm excited.
Anonymous, I try to do the same thing. Not only is my paint water over here and my drinking stuff is on the other desk, but I also have my drinking stuff covered just in case. Can we say brand names on this? How finicky do we?
I don't care.
It's a Yeti, cup mug thing. It's great. I love it. It was.
We're not sponsored by a water company, so I'm not worried about it.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Oh, also, I went to a store today and they were selling acrylic paint 4 for 99 cents. So I got a whole bunch of paint in very, like, I've committed to something being fluorescent orange, and pink. But I
need
just
to
got
get rid of some. Let me know.
I mean, also, I have no problem sending you some of it. I mean, it's Anita's acrylic. I think it's kind of a low. I mean, it is technically owned by Rust-Oleum, but
interesting.
I don't know. We'll find out. And then me sitting here ready for a paint stream had not put a palette out yet.
It's fine. You don't need a palette to paint.
So
please.
So here's the thing.
Yes.
The picture that I'm looking at right now is super cool. So I'm going to start with the speed paints and then I'm going to do the teeth because someone did a really cool job with teeth and then a really thin line of gums along the teeth. Ooh. So I'm going to try that. But I think because I'm just going to use regular paint over it, I want to do the speed paint first.
No, sure.
So for anybody who doesn't know, I have adopted I assume it's very commonly a Warhammer paint technique of slap chop.
Yes.
Which, if you look in my office, or if you look in my, actually, you can see it on the pieces. So what I ended up doing with this piece is it was in a black primer, and then I took gray and then white and did a little bit of dry brushing. So what it does is it creates natural peaks and valleys. It gives the highlights and the lowlights really well. And then what you do is you take yourself a little bit of speed paint by Army Painter. And it's high pigmented. It's got a little ball bearing inside. And it just seeps into all the highlighted portions and the lowlights. But you've already created those highs and lows, so all it does is just pigment them, and it's amazing. It's a nice way of creating that little bit of texture that you might not know how to do without much effort, and it's good for making like large numbers of minis if you're doing like an army or something.
Yeah, if you're building Tyranids, Orcs, Imperial Guardsmen, you're definitely gonna want to learn how to slap chop.
I'm not as interested in doing massive armies. I like having special pieces.
Yeah, I mean,
like mostly special pieces. So
no, that's fair. If you're not to say that you should start playing Warhammer 40k, I would never recommend.
Why would you wish that upon anyone?
Yeah, exactly. But the Imperial Knights are a fun small army, because you only need like 4 models for an Imperial Knight army, because the models are like this big.
Oh Jesus!
You just build giant mechas and
that is
hope
fun.
that your opponents don't have armor shredding weaponry.
God. All right, so I lied and I finished. I put a little bit more white on this guy to make him pop a bit more. So I have to give him a little time to dry. So we're gonna work on the Forest Guardian first.
Love that.
Do the scariest thing first.
I support it.
Okay.
Also, cool little thing about this. It's a little homebrew thing I did. I had to put a little putty here and there, but I put his head on back. His head on upside down.
Oh, that's the one that you did the upside down head. I love it.
Yeah. Kind of proud of this little guy.
He looks amazing. I love the just insanity of that. It's a really horrifying appearance.
Thank you.
I'd be freaking scared if I saw that.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's healthy. I think these little bastards are terrible. Because I love Tzeentch. He's the chaos god of change, and ambition and magic and a few other things. And he's my favorite because he's, a magic user, and I automatically stan all magic users in fiction. But his servants are kind of the least well treated among the chaos cultists, because there's a chance that Tzeentch just sort of looks at you and goes, "Boom, you're an ant now," and he changes you into an ant, which is fun as long as you're not the ant.
Apologies for the shaka. Oh, Mouse. Okay, so Mouse says she's missed cooking venison stroganoff for dinner. I prefer deer meat over beef because it isn't as fatty. Venison's freaking awesome. I have a couple of relatives who hunt deer in Pennsylvania, and I got a big chunk of it from somebody, like a frozen piece, and damn, that's good in like stew and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm from Montana, the great north, and there were times that, like, growing up, we would eat nothing but venison because my dad and my brothers all hunted, so we would have
what are you gonna do, waste it?
Yeah, exactly. So I think we had 3 chest freezers in our garage.
Wow.
It was just, yeah.
Alright, so we got a couple of colors here I'm gonna play around with. Gonna do... Alright. So I have hardened leather, which looks to be sort of a mid-brown. And then I have dark wood, which is a much darker brown. And then I have camo cloak, which is going to be like an olive green. And pallid bone, which is more of a chalky, sort of a tan.
I mean, I think you're contractually obligated to do dark wood, right? Given that
it's a little too dark is the thing.
Oh, that's
so I'm going to start with the lighter brown, which is the hardened leather. So let's give it a go. I'm going to start on the bottom so I can back off if I need to. Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Right. So what's really cool / infuriating about this particular piece is that it is very detailed. So I want to try to pay attention to what I've got on the piece so I don't miss any cool color opportunities.
That's one of the going on my favorite thing about Warhammer, painting for Warhammer, is that there are so many models on the board at any given time. They don't necessarily need to look terribly pretty or well done.
Sure. There is something kind of freeing about that.
Oh, yes. The best. Of course, I'm still too scared to do my big demons by myself because...
Oh, sure. I could see that.
You know, they're big, and you can actually see them from like 6 feet away. But...
Colton, yes. Hope had to buy liquor to celebrate this awesome stream.
Oh, hey, Hope. Hi, how are you? I'm... what are you... What you drinking? I'm a gin man myself.
Straight gin or gin cocktails?
Gin cocktails.
Because you're not a sociopath.
No. Well,
no, I know people who like straight gin. It's fine.
I have done gin shots before, and it certainly is
juniper in the nostrils.
Yes. I actually I worked at a distillery for a hot minute.
Oh, nice. I volunteered at one.
Oh, nice. Ooh, cheap margaritas. I support that. I support any cheap alcohol. Well, thank you very much, Hope. Sending my love to you. But,
we both got in the zone just now.
Yeah.
But yeah, for anybody who just joined us, this is meant to be a shared art stream. So if you want to work on anything, that's totally awesome. So feel free to use this as your background noise if you need it. And if you want to share, and if you want to share with us, you can do so on our Discord server. You can find the link under the video, or type !Discord into the chat and you'll get the link. And we have an arts and crafts channel that you can post pictures or share with us. And at some point soon, I'm going to figure out a system by which to share those pictures when we get them. I'll set up a stream layer for that.
So, Hope, I have actually, this is gonna, hurt my street cred here a little. I've only read ever one, Warhammer novel, and it's the first book in the Eisenhorn collection trilogy, that follows an Inquisitor who's definitely follows all the laws of the Imperium. Definitely, you don't need to worry about it. It's fine.
100%.
And it's a great book. It's written very well. But yeah, it's unfortunately one of those things that I've been meaning to. So, I can fully talk about my nerd cred, but haven't.
Nerd cred implies that
Um,
there is some sort of hurdle you have to jump, and I don't believe in it. You are valid, Colton.
I know, but it's still fun to say.
Sure.
But if you want to start, I have been told the series Gaunt's Ghost, is a great place to start. Um, I've also been told the Mechanicum novels. I think that's what they're called. The Forges of Mars is a good starting point. There's also a book with Trays in the Infinite and another Necron going on a journey of discovery road trip through the
I was
galaxy.
gonna say, so
apparently.
it's a buddy road trip.
Yes, except for they hate each other. And
So it's an enemies
like,
to lover road trip.
Yes. Which seems good. I don't try to recommend things I haven't read though. So, oh yeah, no, I fully agree. Hope I'm just bullshitting.
Brian, Hit Start Brian, thank you for the sub with Prime.
Oh, thank you.
Using
very,
that
very
Prime
much.
sub for good cause. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Also, I'm very interested to see what is being embroidered by Hope at this moment.
Ooh, Hope's embroidering? Nice.
Need to make sure that my model stays in view of you all, so it's not
occasionally I have to adjust because my hand shifts. So, just gonna shift the camera.
That's smart. I should do that. But also don't want to.
I'll get you that armature. The armature helps. You'll have it soon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this guy's got some neat plating on him. And clearly delineated joints in his hand. Like he's got digits.
That's cool.
So what's fun is that the highlighting only caught the outside. So when I get the brown in there, it goes all dark and then just looks like nice deep grooves in the paint or in the wood.
Nice. What I have been reading though, however,
Please
is I've
share.
been reading a lot of Magic the Gathering stuff.
Neat.
Which is very fun. Also, the new Magic the Gathering story, the first chapter was published online today, and it's fantastic.
So what's the relationship between the game and and what you're calling the new story? Like, how does that work?
So back in the day, they were very separate. In fact, the first 12 novels that were published are considered non-canon at this point, for various reasons. For example, the first novel, Arena, terrible, horrible, very bad. I would recommend no one read it. It's just hot garbage. William Fortune is a terrible author, and seemingly a terrible person.
Your seal of disapproval on that one.
Yeah, he co-wrote Civil War fan fiction with Newt Gingrich.
Huh.
So that sort of
okay. Hold on. The way you said that needs clarification. He wrote Civil War fanfic alongside fellow author Newt Gingrich. Okay,
yes,
not that he is
not that I
isekai'd Newt Gingrich into the Civil War.
I have not read the Civil War fan fiction, so I cannot say whether or not it is.
Whether or not Gingrich has self-inserted.
Yeah, but yeah, it's so Arena's terrible, but the rest of the Magic story is loosely based into blocks.
Mm-hmm.
At least it was. It got changed, but now it's kind of coming back. It's weird. Don't worry about it.
Sure.
And for each block, which is either one or a few sets, there is a story associated with it. It used to be told by novels, then it moved to online fiction, then several novels came out before the pandemic, and they were horrible. Greg Weisman is a hack. And then they moved
It's
back
really
to
fun
online
hearing
fiction.
you like just let loose on people that I don't know, and I'm just like, okay, they're a piece of shit.
Oh god, I need to find that one specific. I'll look for it later.
Are we gonna hate read at some point?
Yes, I will.
Amazing.
I will happily do dramatic readings.
Amazing.
But these novels or internet short fiction are tied to the story of the block, and then the cards are like depicting creatures, spells, stuff cast during that block. Events during that block. And this new set that just began to be spoiled today. Just the first few cards. They don't. The rest of the spoilers won't come out until January, I think.
Gotcha.
It's a murder mystery set.
Neat.
In the house, in the mansion of the richest person on the planet of Ravnica, or the plane of Ravnica.
Delightful.
And I'm so excited. Because it's just going to be a fun time. They're also releasing a clue. Okay, here's the thing. I don't like capitalism, right? I think I've made that clear over.
Yeah, that you're in good company. You're fine.
Seeing a clue, a Magic the Gathering clue expansion, almost makes me want to support capitalism. And I hate it. Because it's so cool. But it's not.
That's kind of fun.
I am willing. Don't tempt me. Memento Morgan was taken. I will. This is a threat.
Anti-Bob Rock. just hate watching. Yeah. Also, anybody who's watching us right now, because we currently have an ad break going on, tell your friends. They don't have to watch ads if they subscribe to us.
Oh yeah, I didn't.
We do, instead of ads at the beginning, we do them every we do a 1:30 ad every hour or so.
Okay.
And that allows for new people who like raid the stream or come in. It doesn't like punish them by making them watch an ad before they can watch the video.
Sure.
And then we just, and we can like hit the snooze button on them if we don't want to run it right away.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a decent way to do it. But obviously it just depends on your stream setup.
Right. I know nothing about Twitch.
Well, this was a relatively new change that we made. Because you have the option to do either at the front or during.
Neat.
Alright, so I'm getting bored of this color. So I think we're going to start experimenting. But I did get a pretty good chunk of the wood color. I'm gonna play along here a little bit. There we go.
Oh, you know what book I had to read that I really didn't like? As I Lay Dying by Faulkner. Fuck Faulkner. It is an American classic, but I don't care. It's terrible.
Which one by Faulkner?
As I Lay Dying.
I never read it. It was one of those books that was like in the class requirements, but like our class didn't do it.
Yeah.
That wasn't one of the ones we had to read.
It's fine.
We did a lot of Hemingway.
Oh god. Oh my god. Have you ever seen the okay.
Anything good about Hemingway is his cats.
Okay.
Sorry, the only thing wholesome about Hemingway is his cat.
After the stream, everyone in chat, look at me, listen. I need you to go to YouTube and look up the
Randy
life and
Feltface.
times. Yes, Randy Feltface's
Randy writes a novel.
Times of Ernest Hemingway in
Like a
3 minutes.
fucking legend.
It's so good. It's so good.
I recommend Randy Feltface to anyone, to be honest. But yes,
Sure.
Randy Writes a Novel is the one to start with. It's got a lot of delightful. Yes, Maury's like, my beloved Randy. Randy is a puppet.
From Australia.
He's from Australia. And he does the stand-up. And I love that the puppeteer has a t-shirt that says, I'm the guy that does Randy. I saw
amazing.
a picture of him with Randy on his hand, but that's what the shirt says.
To keep the illusion, I refuse to look up what he looks like in person.
He's kind of what you expect. He's just a
Sure.
gangly Australian dude.
But it's the same way that, like, if I ever see a video where, like, Teller from Penn and Teller is, like, speaking, I will not watch it. Because
you don't want to know what he sounds like?
Yeah, no, God, no. I have gone 23 years without hearing the voice of Teller, and I plan on going at least 23 more.
I bet I've heard it, but, like, I just have forgotten it. I'm just like, whatever. That's not important. His voice doesn't matter. No, not in the way that I'm saying it, but... What's really nice about the speed paints is that they overlap really nice with each other.
Nice.
Like, you give it a little bit to dry, and you can do some really nice texture work on them. Not texture, but, like, blending is what I meant to say. So I've got this pallid bone that it ends up looking real gnarly on the mushrooms. Because it's more of a yellow than a white. So, fun story. I haven't ran a physical game of D&D in a very long time. Pre-pandemic. Honestly, I don't think I've ever run more than a one-shot.
Really?
I mean, I took on so much stuff online, I just never went back.
That's fair.
Never went back to the physical realm.
I would love to escape the physical realm. That's like a...
You already have. Look, we're in the tubes right now.
Yeah.
The internet didn't like you saying that. It blurted you out. Colton's going a little jumpy every so often, y'all. It's okay. We'll have him back in a second. Your camera is kind of catching up.
Okay. Oh.
You're almost back.
Okay. Oh.
Yes, Mouse. I meant in-person games. I've been running a lot of D&D. Too much, one might say. You are back in real time.
Oh, fantastic. Hi.
What's hilarious is, like, your mic, I mean, it's obviously just bandwidth issues. Like,
Right.
Your mic sounds great. When you come back, you sound absolutely amazing. So.
Love that for me.
You have a good mic. Just want to kick your internet in the teeth.
Please, God, dear God, I hate Spectrum with a deep passion.
Oh, I used to have Spectrum.
I love
Screw those guys.
monopolies.
Well, funny
I
Monopoly
love
story.
19.
If you want to watch, you want to see something happen in real time. I have AT&T. Well, obviously, AT&T just makes me hear John Oliver go business daddy. But I have AT&T fiber.
Sure.
They came into our neighborhood, which we had one IP or ISP, and They came in, installed the fiber, and then drilled a hole in our house when we ordered it so that we could get the fiber. And it's been great. We've had a really pretty solid and great speeds, but pretty solid experience. Within weeks of them coming in and just like and not to mention the fiber was way faster and way cheaper. And then within weeks of that happening, I saw signs up in our neighborhood that said, like, from our other ISP, we're putting fiber in your neighborhood. And it's like, oh, so weird.
That's
so interesting that competition forced you to provide a better product.
Who knew?
Yeah, so crazy. It's almost like capitalism in an ideal situation isn't the worst thing in the world. It's just, it's rampant with people gaming the system.
I have my econ notes like here.
Amazing.
I'm not going to grab them, but
oh my god, I want just a spontaneous econ lecture from Colton.
Please don't say that. I will. Like, this is a threat. I will do that.
You enjoy that as a topic?
No, but I know a lot about it, which means
and
I
you
can
have
talk
opinions.
About it. Yeah. Oh god. Me opinions? No.
Can't imagine.
No. Oh, hey chat. You know how I was saying you should go look at Randy Feltface after this stream? Scratch that. What you should do, and this is a shameless self-promotion.
Oh no.
Go onto your favorite podcast platform. And
there you go.
Listen to For Light and Dice, which is a Star Wars actual play TTRPG game set in the High Republic of Star Wars.
Very cool.
Where I play characters, and it's very fun. And
if I remember correctly, during our tech stream, the droid that we had on screen was one of your characters.
Yes, that was IA1N. He is just a little guy. Just a little guy.
I love it.
Guy, yeah. He's just a silly little goofy little guy.
Alright, let's see.
So yeah, it's fun. You won't regret it. Or if you just have time, if you don't want to listen to it, just press play and then go to sleep.
Oh, that's such a fun idea. I should do that for my friends.
I may or may not have done it on several podcasts.
It's like, listen, I want you to make more content. I like you.
I really too much.
Oh, Colton, your internet's such a jerk.
I don't.
You're only out for like less than 30 seconds and then you're back usually. It's the thing. It's like just intermittent.
One of the many issues with one of the many issues with living in a rural area, not everything is consistent or good.
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hey, Franz. Hi, buddy.
I have never played Pathfinder. That's my
I have played it. I started making a character in Pathfinder, but we never played.
Okay. It looks fun.
I have friends who are devotees.
Though I do like Diablo. At least I like Diablo 1. I've never played any of the other Diablos.
Oh, I played a shit ton of Diablo 2. That was the game when I was younger.
Hell yeah.
Rather, that was the time sink.
um, but yeah, the only thing I remember about Diablo now is when Blizzard was like, "Hey, we have this Diablo game that was like mobile,
Oh
and
no.
it was like so universally panned, and they announced it at a convention,
Okay.
and it's one of my favorite clips. This guy in the questions line, after the panel, he asks, "Is this in like out of season April Fool's joke?"
Oh my
Like
god.
that's how just
That's
terrible the
such a
announcement was,
dick. That's such a dick
right?
question.
But I mean, Blizzard is a dick company, so I think it's
Sure.
justified. Yes, Diablo Immortal, that's what it was. Is that even like did it even become a thing, or did it just kind of die quietly as it should have?
Do you all not have phones?
Yes.
Alright. Looking pretty fucking rad.
Nice.
There's a lot of tiny little mushrooms, and I want to give them their just deserves. I don't know the phrase. Is it desserts?
I think it's desserts.
Okay, I guess that's more fun.
Right? I like dessert.
So, I need mushroom colors. We're gonna go a little bit of orange.
Ooh, you could do that
fire
fluorescent.
giant orange. I might do a little highlighting in that.
That would be fun.
I'm gonna test my patience and see how much work I can, or how much like little detail I'll put into them.
Sure.
I have this feeling that one day I'm just gonna take all of these minis and donate them.
Nothing wrong with that.
Like
Find
to
a
a
nice
game shop or something.
Oh, I mean, if you donate, not to tell you where to donate or what to do with your stuff, but find a local school that has a D&D club.
Oh, that's a good idea. It's a great
It'd be
idea.
a great place to donate unused minis. Also, okay, chat, I need your help I need your help. This is a poll, a very formal poll.
Yes.
I saw
Show of hands.
Yeah. I saw a tweet yesterday, and it was like an octopus escaping from like a fish market.
They always do
Would
that.
you
Those crazy motherfuckers.
play a one-page RPG where all the players are octopi escaping from a fish market? Does that sound fun?
That sounds amazing, first of all.
Okay, cool.
Octoprison Break.
I'm stealing that name,
Take
Angela.
It. It's yours.
Thank you. Fantastic. Amazing.
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool. I will drop the plans. They might be posted by next Tuesday.
There is a game. There's a stream that we ran. I don't remember why or when it was. I think it was a game that Jason Cutrone ran for us. And I was one of the players, and I think Andy was one of the players. And Heavenly, who one of the co-hosts of Monster Crush, used to be on the network. They are delightful. Heavenly just has this ability to play a character that is so fully realized in its absurdity. And it's just, I'm always flabbergasted and delighted every time I get to play with her. And in this sailor, like, pirate game we played, she played a character who every so often would say things like, yes, I was absolutely born from a woman.
Oh my god.
And she had arms. That was definitely a thing she had. Like, and it took a little while to understand what was happening.
Sure.
And after a bit, we realized she was playing an octopus that had been polymorphed into a person. That was the whole bit. She was that's all she was doing. And it was incredible. I don't think we had ever fully understood what was happening until after the game. But if you go back and watch it with that in mind, it's incredible.
I love that.
Yeah. And, like, Heavenly was one of my co-stars in Final Rites, which was our all-tiefling, like, Southern Gothic game that Jason ran.
Yeah.
I loved that show so much. Scheduling became a bear.
Right.
Rachel Denton was the other player, and she did incredible art for the show. She was also delightful as a player. But so the three of us were playing tieflings on this boat, and Heavenly's character's name was Nowhere, and she was like the concierge of the boat. And
love that.
She was just really, really absurd. She had, over the course of the show, what she called her evening routine became like a 17-step process that involved multiple exfoliants and hair exfoliants, which I didn't know what that was. I think she made that up. And it was just, she was this absurd person that like got all of her clothes custom made by this fashion designer named Orc de Orc.
Oh my god.
And she would go on these elaborate descriptions of what she was wearing that day. That just it was so good. But yeah, Nowhere was absurd, and I adored her.
Honestly, so this won't be a shock to anyone who's played a game with me, but all characters in D&D have to have at least 25% absurdity for like them to work. That's my hot take.
Or I can see that.
Because like, you know, sometimes it's just the voice, right? Seven, who was one of my favorite characters, was a terribly tragic little guy. But he talked like this. So no matter what he said, it was a joke.
God, what does that sound like? It sounds like
it became a Kermit the Frog impression, kind of.
Sure, but there's another voice in there too.
I based it on. So if you ever seen the Venture Brothers?
Okay, yes, that's who I'm hearing. I'm hearing Jackson Public.
Yeah, it's specifically based on Dr. Dugong, who was the one-time villain or protagonist.
But he was 24, right?
Yeah,
or 21.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one. The tall one. Tall skinny one.
He was 21. Dr. Dugong.
Oh, he's like half the characters.
Yeah. I mean, Doc Hammer is half the I think Doc Hammer is 33% of the characters.
Jackson's another 33.
Yeah, is the other 33, and then the last third is just everyone else. And you know what? I love it.
I love that the guy who played Dean, his name is his last name is Sinter Niklas, which really just literally means Santa Claus.
Oh my god.
And it makes me very happy.
That's so fun. I love that.
No, I will say I recently, like within the last few days, got a hard flashback to Venture Brothers when Henry Kissinger died.
I love Killinger
Henry
so much.
Killinger is incredible, and I was like, all right, Henry Kissinger, rotten hell, but I'm glad you inspired this one thing, this one good thing.
His magical murder bag.
Yes, this is my magical and my murderous moppets. But didn't he originally have the murderous moppets and then Dr. Girlfriend, or did she always have it?
She always had it.
Okay.
They came from when she was Lady Au Pair.
That's right. The murder. Yep. You're right. God, the lore of that show is so fucking insane.
So fun fact, my brain is designed to store fictional lore and
Yeah.
only fictional lore.
Nope, I got you.
So Venture Brothers is one of those things.
For me, it's a facial recognition software of, oh, that guy. He was in these 3 other things and this, this Disney Saturday afternoon special that nobody saw in 1996. That kind of thing.
I love that.
Well, the real hilarious thing is Andy is straight up face blind. There are days where he's like, he'll get 2 people confused and he goes, "See, Angela, I have told you over and over again, I'm not being racist. I don't know anybody's face. I can't tell anybody." He always feels weird. He's just like, are those 2? I'm like, those are 2 different people, babe. And he's like, I do it with everyone, right? Just because they're not, it's 2 non-white people. That's not what's happening. And I'm like, I know you're face blind.
Oh my god.
Poor guy.
At least he's, complimented by you, right? That's
who has too much memory for faces. Okay, so Maury's description of his vampire is very good, and I didn't know Yelena had obsidian high heels, Maury. That's fucking sick.
Amazing.
God, she was such a bitch. She was amazing. Another player and I got Yelena into a polycule. It was great.
Iconic.
It's like, listen, Yelena liked goth Shadar Kai lady, and goth Shadar Kai lady was dating hot Paladin of Conquest tattoo artist. So naturally, that wasn't changing. And so we're like, yeah, sure.
Nice.
Join the party.
So, if you don't have, or if you have a set of paint that you maybe have opened in 3 years, and all the nice silvery bits that you need to be in the paint instead of on the bottom are on the bottom. What's wonderful is you can just use a sewing needle as a little stir stick for the to get it unsettled. So then you can really stir it, and then you don't need to get a ball bearing.
Cool.
It's also really easy to scrape off, so you aren't wasting a terribly large amount of paint.
That is very neat. It's been really interesting using the speed paints because I've literally just been doing it drop by drop, which is not how I used to paint. Or rather, it's not how I used to make my palettes, that is.
Right. I'm very excited also because my romantic partner, who is a painter,
nice.
has graciously agreed to do the large demon that will be leading my army.
Cool.
Like full paint. So I'm super
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Not that much room for red in this build, but I'm putting a couple of mushrooms and a few what I'm interpreting as berries.
Love it.
Alright, I gotta mess around with some more green. I actually splurged on some fun paintbrushes the other month. So now I've got these nice these paintbrushes that have nice curve to them and like the little triangular hold it like a first grade pencil. They're Dugato. But yeah, they came in like a big set. I think I got them last Black Friday. Let's see. Let's go with Absolution Green.
Ooh, spooky. Sometimes I just say words.
Mouse and Mori were two of my players in my my big long campaign that I ran.
Oh, yes.
3 years, 1 to 20.
Was that the one with like the wolf thing? Because I remember helping. Yeah,
Mouse was the character who had
cool.
that storyline.
Sorry for putting bad things into Angela's head.
Oh yeah, we had lots of conversations. But no, Mouse really enjoyed what I did to her character.
That's good.
It's that love-hate thing, you know?
Sure.
It's the hurt me, but how dare you hurt me, but thank you. Oh, like last night, so I told you about my Sunday game with the shipwreck golem that I was slowly moving across the Roll20 map, square by square, until somebody noticed and I made them roll a perception check. They succeeded.
Nice.
But I did manage to, I felt so bad. So one of my players got ruidium poisoning. Which comes from Critical Role's or the Netherdeep storyline.
That is not something I know anything about.
So ruidium is like this red crystalline substance, comes from, I don't know, evil dark moon kind of thing. And it has symptoms that are associated with exhaustion. So depending on the level of exhaustion you have, the expression of this, it's basically a curse, but the expression of this ruidium poisoning comes out. So it, in addition to slowly developing bulging red veins and blisters and crystals jutting out of your body, you also start feeling intense and inescapable feelings of regret, anger, and like depression. And one of the characters got stabbed with a ruidium coated knife and failed the con save. So he is currently diseased, or he currently has this poisoning, and it just hadn't been a big deal because you have it and you can take a long rest to mitigate the symptoms. You're not cured though. Like, you have to get it cured via some plot device. But you can stave off the symptoms. And so it hadn't really been a problem. But the player wanted it to be a problem. But I kept forgetting to incorporate it into the stories. No. I was like, damn it, I forgot again. This time I didn't forget. This time I decided that seeing as ruidium was sort of a debilitating poisoning, that maybe it is exacerbated by things that encourage decomposition. So, like necrotic damage. So I made sure that my shipwreck golem, which was technically both a construct and undead, did necrotic damage.
You're mean. I love it.
I'm not that mean, though. I get yelled at all the time for not being mean enough, and then I get mean, and they're like, there you go. And I'm like, but I feel bad. But it's fun. But this was like, and I told you this before, Colton, I'm nice for the most part. And then I come up with something cool, like a set piece that's really fucking mean. Because I think part of it is like, I get tired of putting characters through the ringer. Because what ends up happening is I'll get DMs at all times of the day of my players stuck in bleed. And it's like, okay, but like, if I just gave you what you wanted, you'd feel better. But the main point of my story was that I finally pulled the trigger on this ruidium poisoning, because the monk who had the poisoning, I made them make constitution saves, and I was like, okay, anytime you could potentially get exhaustion, he'll get the ruidium poisoning stuff. But
Right.
he was really, really good at dodging. I started with just waves. So this big wave comes up and you have to like do a strength save to avoid, like, you gotta push through. And he was getting like fucking 32. And I'm like, okay, this is not the way to do this. And so then I decided to bat on my backup plan, which was the necrotic damage. So he gets hit with necrotic. Everybody who fails the save takes damage, but then he also gets a point of exhaustion because the necrotic is exacerbating his condition. And the moment that the player realized what was happening, you could see her face light up. He was like, I know what I must do. And essentially, manipulates events so that, or, makes actions during play that results in her getting into the mouth of the golem. And it was such a perfect little dovetail to the original plan to destroy the ship that this golem is based off of. They went around to a bunch of bakeries and got as much raw flour as they could so they could blow it up.
I love that.
For anybody who doesn't know, loose flour as in powdered form can be slightly explosive / flammable.
Oh, more than slightly.
Yes, it can be very bad. So my players knew this and were taking advantage of that. The problem was they were in the middle of a very busy dock. If they had decided to, in fact, blow this up, they probably would have ended up in jail for being terrorists or something. Even though they were blowing up a pirate ship. It's like, they weren't doing anything wrong. They paid the fee to be at the dock. You decided to blow them up. So I sort of lightly discouraged the plan to blow it up by presenting them with this idea of like the soul of the ship could be pursued in this realm and go for it. So they did that instead. But as a wonderful callback to the original idea, the monk busted out all of the flour they had gotten. And when he was inside the mouth of the golem, just started spreading it everywhere. And as a draconic monk, who is also a tiefling resistant to fire, he wasn't really that worried about it. Because he had a bunch of hit points, and he's like, it's fine. If it blows up, whatever. But as I had established that this creature was like undead and a construct, decided that there was just like necrotic stuff like swirling around inside this thing. So he's just standing in the middle of this golem's mouth and getting getting more and more exhaustion. And he doesn't know what's happening to him. He's just dealing with the golem. And then he's got like, he gets out of it, he blows up the golem, and when he gets back to shore after he'd been dunked underwater by this golem, everyone looks at him and I'm like, yeah, he's covered in fucking crystals and bulging, like, glowing pustules of red. And he's already a red tiefling, but like, this is really fucking bad, man. And we were joking about him becoming a crystal gem. But I was like, but only the body horror episodes of Steven Universe.
Those are my favorite.
You like cat fingers?
Yes. Well, no, I don't. I like...
It's awful.
Yeah.
But like in a good way. Like in a, this has been fully realized and is horrifying. I hate it.
In a Crimes of the Future way, which is like one of my favorite movies, because it's just the Cronenbergiest Cronenberg film. Have you seen it?
No, I have not, but I am aware of it.
God, if you like body horror, it's amazing. Because there's not a plot. it's all just vibes. I mean, there is a plot, but the plot is so just ridiculous that you don't need to worry about it. And
Okay.
it's just it's incredible. There's one point. How graphic can I be?
I mean, this is a mature stream. If it's something
Okay.
that you think we should do like a warning so that somebody can mute if it's a certain thing, you can give someone a warning ahead of time.
Description of body horror in 5 seconds. So, like, if that's not your thing, don't listen. I'll give you a thumbs up when I'm done talking about it.
There you go.
5.
I'm sorry, I
4,
put my
3,
finger away.
2, and 1. There's just a scene where a character eats out a flesh wound on Viggo Mortensen's stomach.
That's very Cabin Fever.
Like,
here's the thing, I've never seen those kind of movies. I just am very I'm very good at, let's say, reading the Wikipedia entries of many horror films because I'm weird like that. And I'm cool with knowing what's like going on in a movie. Like, I didn't watch Hereditary.
I love Hereditary.
Rather, I watched a clip from Hereditary. Like, I watched the end. That's what happened. I watched the end of Hereditary, and then I went, what the fuck? And I just went into the wiki and went, okay, how did I get here? Same with Mother. That was another one that I saw, that I saw the ending and went, what? And then just went back and read the intro, or read the how we got here.
If you're just watching clips from Hereditary, I would definitely recommend the clip of the mom yelling at the son. It's just such a good monologue.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, Toni Collette's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So Andy, so for anybody who doesn't know, Andy is my partner. He started watching Smosh videos.
Oh.
And so Smosh does like try not to laughs and stuff with people. They bring people in, but they're also like tangentially associated with the Star Kid production company because one of their cast members is in Star Kid. And
Star Kid is
the Harry Potter musical and all of those. Which, okay, gotta talk to you about the most recent one that came out. It's a fucking bop. It's so good, like so good.
I need to watch it.
It's called Nerdy Prudes Must Die, and it's a high school horror movie.
That's
musical.
Amazing.
And I'm so glad they're starting to do their own stuff now because it's just so interesting. They have this series that they're doing now. They're calling it like the Hatchetfield universe. Very like Stephen King, small town. But each of the musicals that they've put out, and they also during the pandemic put out like something like 10 other completely like they read plays. They were like reading the scripts on Zoom calls basically.
Right.
But some of them like straight up did have music, and they were just these horror, like these not existential, but like eldritch horror essentially with this suburban twinge to it. So, they had, the first one was called The Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals.
Right, I've seen that one.
Yeah, which is like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but with musical. And it's great, and I love it. The second one is called Black Friday, which one can assume, is about commercialism, but it has basically a Tickle Me Cthulhu
doll.
My
God.
That takes over the minds of the adults in a mall. So they all show up trying to get these. They're called Wiggly dolls. They're Tickle Me Wigglies.
Oh my God!
And he's like, "I want to be your friendy wend," and he straight up has like little tentacles. It's great. And then everybody goes insane. And what's so interesting and cool about the Hatchetfield musicals is none of them end happy. They all end with like an apocalyptic scenario happening. So they straight up lose in Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals. It's so good. Right. And I'm honestly, I'm not spoiling anything because the opening number of Guy Who Didn't Like Musicals very much implies that everyone has been taken over by the hive mind already. So, the third one that just came out, Nerdy Prudes Must Die, they essentially, StarKid has essentially been kickstarting their last few seasons of musicals. And when I say season, I mean like theater season. And this time they did a straight up pro shot.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
So it's a cool combination. They did such a nice job with this combination of filming the stage production and then occasionally peppering in the recorded soundtrack so that you got like the really nice recorded songs, but only sometimes because you're still hearing them. They did a really nice job blending the live performance with the album performance. And then in addition to having like a camera out in the audience that's looking at the stage, they then also filmed the musical with multiple cameras on the stage moving around. So they got really close shots of things while also getting like wide shots from the audience and getting audience reactions and laughs and stuff. So it just ended up being this really nice experience. Speaking of, if anybody hasn't seen the musical Waitress, the Sarah Bareilles pro shot is in theaters this week. I intend to go see it this weekend with someone who's never seen it, and I'm very excited.
Nice. Also, not to
go for
change the topic, but
Feel
I'm
free
so
to
happy.
derail.
So happy with how this is turning out.
Let's see. Oh, it's so good. Oh, I love it.
More details to do.
That blue is beautiful.
Right. It is Macragge blue from Citadel.
Nice.
It's very
Citadel's got nice paints.
They do. Well, they mostly have nice paints. Phalanx yellow, terrible, horrible. Do not buy. It is the worst yellow I've ever seen. I don't even know why I still have it in my paint box.
What, are you going to throw a paint out?
Exactly. No.
If they're still painting it, it's not even empty? Yeah, you don't do that.
Yeah, no. But
someday you'll find something that you hate so much you want to give it a shitty paint job.
So if I ever go into fantasy, Warhammer Fantasy, I'm going to, just use Tzeentch demons because Tzeentch demons are the same in fantasy and in 40k, which is cool.
Yeah, it's neat. It's very Doom.
But to have a competitive 40k Tzeentch list, you need like 6 Lords of Change, which are the massive bird demons. I have 1. But if I ever go into fantasy, what's nice is all I need to do to get an army is buy like 3 more. But I really want to paint 1 yellow for the big bird of it all.
Amazing.
Right? Get like a small Elmo sculpture for it to be like stepping on. Like a dead Elmo.
Amazing. All right, so this is I'm really close to being done with at least this initial paint. He looks really good on camera.
Oh wow, yeah. That's so pretty.
Yeah, he's fun.
Bravo.
You lose a little bit of the detail in like when you're looking at it directly.
Sure.
So I am going to go over with some highlighting. I also want to make these antlers maybe pop a little bit more. But I'm feeling pretty good. So I think I'm going to move on to my beholder. Oh, since I have a nice camera, I might as well show off the pieces I did last time.
Hell yeah.
So, here is Kingston. Kingston is he's my bird parrot. He's beautiful. He's part of my pirate circus campaign that I run with all tieflings. He's essentially a DMPC. At least he was for a little while. He's technically a Kenku. But he found his voice. He took his voice, rather. He stole a voice. And he's beautiful, and he has a pretty red coat and beautiful blue feathers. And then I also was in the middle of my Baldur's Gate phase. Still happening. And I have a beautiful Mind Flayer. Let's see, can I get him in focus? I was really, really happy with this like blue-green color for the staff that he has.
It turned out
There's a
so
lot of
well.
detail. I'm still working on the back, but I didn't have a needle at the time to do any sort of work on the pattern here. But yeah, those are my two that I have right now. Anyway, so we're going to let this guy sit for a bit. And we're going to move on to Mr. Eye Tyrant. So, what are we going to do with him? Let me find that picture I liked. Alright, so if you look really close on this piece, there are eyes in little spots all over it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the initial paint. I'm just going to do the colors. And then I'm going to go over it and I'm going to find like some off-white and I'm going to just dab where the eyes are.
Ooh, that would be
to make
cool.
them pop a little bit. I'm a big fan of the purple. I have some really fun purple colors. Honestly, they're going to be very similar to the Mind Flayer. But I'm a big fan of a purpley Mind Flayer. So I'm going to do a mix of... We're going to do Blood Red. Slaughter Red's a bit more intense than I want to go, but it's more purple, though.
Oh, that is so cool, Mouse.
Mouse just posted... Oh, let's see. In the stream. Let's see. Aww. Let me save that. And we'll share it.
While you're doing that, speaking of eyes, I got this like pad of like fly tying eyes for like 99 cents at my local outdoor sports store.
That's
and
awesome.
I don't know what I want to do with them, but I want to use them so bad. All right.
Here
I might like add some putty around it and have like a
here is Mouse's piece. If anybody wants to see the piece that she's working on. So what is this specifically like? Is this cross stitch? I never know the difference between any of them. I'm very bad at remembering. Yes, okay, cross stitch. I got it right. Alrighty. So, I'm going to work with Purple Alchemy, which is just a great name. Slaughter Red and Hive Dweller Purple. Ooh. Yes, there's a Discord. If you put ! Discord into chat, and I will put it in here for you. You can find our Discord server for the entire network, the entire Nerdsmith Network. But we have an arts and crafts channel where you can share stuff or ask questions and talk about ideas. It's just a chill place to hang out. We just did a movie night just before stream. They were watching National Lampoon's Christmas. I think we've got a whole slew of holiday movies coming up. I know on December 27th we're watching Little Women, because that's Christmassy. It is actually. I wasn't being sarcastic. Alrighty. So let's see. I see you. You made it in. Thank you, Hope. Okay. Let's explore and see what we can do with the Eye Tyrant. we're going to say most of the body of this thing is going to be this purple. This is purple alchemy. It's a really fun color. I'm a big fan of it.
Oh yeah, it looks pretty.
Yeah, it's like this deep magenta. There's a lot of personality. Yeah, here's the thing, Mouse. Like, if I actually thought about it, I'm sure I would remember the difference. It's just one of those detail things that my brain has not committed to memory. But thank you. So, cross stitch. It's stitching in X's. This ended up being the perfect brush for this, because I have to get all up in these weird angles to get the purple. So another hobby I've been getting into is gardening.
Ooh, nice.
I discovered, I mean, since we're in Florida, so in case anybody didn't know, the USDA just, because everything's perfectly normal and fine, just shifted the grow zone numbers for everybody, which basically indicates what temperature you're at.
Now, why would they do something like that?
Can't imagine. So it didn't shift that much, but like, for example, we were normally in 8B, and now we're in 9A, so we've just shifted one category. It's not like nothing. They haven't done it since 2012. So this was a relatively unexpected thing. But being that I'm in Florida, God help me, winter is like a really solid time to start growing some stuff. I discovered that lettuce is a good winter crop, as well as garlic and onion, and I am a fan of both those things. So I ended up finding out how to grow garlic, which is the easiest thing ever. You get garlic and you put it in the dirt.
Love that.
Specifically the cloves. You break it apart and you plant each clove individually. So like an entire bulb of garlic can yield you multiple garlic plants. It's a very good propagator. At least we've made it such that it can't propagate itself, which was something new I learned. Most commercially available garlic does not flower. So you literally just have to take the bulb out of the ground, break it up, and then plant more cloves. But it has not taken any time at all for the garlic that I put in the ground to start sprouting. And now it's got these massive roots and everything. I'm also growing lemongrass, which is really tasty. If anyone's ever had like Thai cuisine, it's going to have some lemongrass in it a lot of the time.
Nice.
And lemongrass is interesting in that it grows into these like stalks that all jumble up together, and you can break them apart and then plant those individually. So I've got a whole bunch of lemongrass, and it straight up smells like lemon. It really has kind of upped my cooking game. Just shredding a little bit of it into dishes gives it such a nice brightness, especially when I don't have lemon. Started feeling like such a fancy fucker when I had like, oh, I'm gonna grate some lemon zest into my meal, and then it tastes amazing, and I'm like, fuck yeah.
And here I am crying in 20-degree weather up in the barren north.
Yeah. Part of me wishes we had more winter. I just want it to be in the 50s all the time. Because I like sweaters. And I have sweaters, but I can never use them.
So I have a confession to make.
Mm-hmm.
I'm that asshole that wears shorts and flip-flops in 20-degree weather. It's like my
because you can't be bothered
trait.
Or because it genuinely doesn't bother you?
Both.
Okay.
Like today, I, went to school in a t-shirt, shorts, and a flip-flops because, I don't want to put on shoes. Are you kidding? That means I have to put on socks. I don't like that. But
Thank you for the
it's-
hydration reminder, Mouse. I would do it, but I don't have a water that I can safely drink from.
I'll take double drinks.
Thank you. I'll be better. I actually, okay, so in not in my defense, but hopefully to offset the upset, I did make some green tea today before stream. Some
Nice.
decaf green tea that I made, and I drank it in a mug that says "My cabbages."
I love that.
Yeah, it's very good. And in case anybody hasn't found the cabbage guy in Baldur's Gate, he's there.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he's in Baldur's Gate. Like, he's in the city.
Is it the same voice actor?
No, but there is a guy who is there with an upturned cabbage cart, and he's like, "My cabbages, my beautiful cabbages."
That's amazing.
It made me very happy.
They should have gotten the same voice actor, though. That's
How about this? I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fair.
I couldn't tell. It didn't seem like it was, but there have been a number of things that came out since patch number 5 too that have cut me deep. Apparently, without, I won't spoil really any story or anything, but apparently during the new epilogue that they've put together, which I'm tempted to try to just beat the end again with my old save and go through the epilogue. It would be nice to have an epilogue for my character. Because I finished before the patch came out. Right. But in the epilogue, you can talk to Shadowheart, and they talk about like, oh, well, we really should get together more often. You know, if we're all like, you know, such close friends, we should see each other. And then they make some joke about like, well, then we have to coordinate the time zones of like 7 different people. But like, that shouldn't be too hard, right? Like, I was like, you motherfuckers. Of course it's easy. It's never a problem. Never. I am starting a plan to run a very small private game, which I'm excited about.
Nice.
I got inspired by a Metacritic video game review that was middling. It was more about the game itself, the concept of the game itself, than the review. But so there's this game that either came out or is coming out called Gangs of Sherwood.
Okay.
And appears to be some sort of like Robin Hood themed co-op game. And
interesting.
It sounded cool, but apparently the game's like, okay. But it inspired me to run a, like, really, not generic, but like a more morally simple mini campaign. Where it's fun. Like, no, you guys are straight up the merry men, whatever, in a high fantasy setting, and you are fighting against a dictator, and you are, you know, stealing from the rich, giving to the poor, causing a ruckus.
Nice.
And I thought that would be fun. And I'm not streaming it. I'm honestly, it's with a couple of friends that is with my husband. I haven't actually run D&D for him before.
Oh, really?
Other than a one shot. So it'll be fun to run a campaign with him. He's also the most absurd when it comes to character concepts. I mean, he is the one who came up with GB, the golden retriever wizard. Still to this day, everyone loves GB so much. Andy uses his GB voice when he's talking to our dogs.
Oh my
instead
God.
Instead of like a baby talk voice, he's just like, "Oh, hi, you're doing so good." And he was like, "Oh my God, you're just playing GB." But he's already come up with a great concept. He goes, "I want to be a gorilla." It's like, what?
Oh my God.
He goes, no, hear me out. So there was this species in 3.5, and I said the Hadozi, and he's like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, they're in Spelljammer right now. They're like monkeys. He's like, yeah, I want to play that, but like a big one, a gorilla. And I want to play a thief, but I want to play a bard who is a thief. So not a rogue character, but a bard who specializes. Like they are two of the most compatible classes. You absolutely can play a bard as a thief.
Right.
With all their, skills and stuff. So that's what he's gonna do. And it's fun because the Hadozi, in case anybody doesn't know, in the Spelljammer, the Hadozi also have like flying squirrel wing, like skin flaps in their arms. So they can glide. And they're literally flying monkeys. And Andy was very excited. I was like, I don't know if we should like lower the glide distance because of how fucking huge you're gonna be. And he goes, no. If I'm supposed to be able to fly, if that's something I have evolved, then I just have bird bones. It's like, okay, we'll just go with that then. But yeah, I'm excited. It should be fun. I was just looking for something low stress, kind of recapture the joy. I've been a little tired lately. And not that I haven't been having a good time with my D&D games, but I took a long break and then have just had some trouble getting back into the flow. You went robot again.
Oh,
you're better now. So what did you say? God damn it. You went It like just was teasing. It was teasing us.
There's nothing wrong with. God damn it.
No, okay, I can hear you now.
No, fantastic. There's nothing wrong with taking a break from the hobby.
Oh yeah, 100% recommend. It was awesome. Not in the sense of like I'm so glad I got away from it, but like just being able to unplug for a little while was really nice and gave me the kind of jump start I felt like I needed.
Nice.
All right. I got really purple happy. He is very much mostly magenta.
Nice.
Maury, that's been me with writing. I took a massive break from doing any of it, and then it all flooded back at once, and now I wish I had more. Yeah, I feel that. But I'm glad that you had a good time getting back into it. Alright, so I'm getting this purple. We're gonna see if this looks any good.
Alright, I think this little guy is done for the night.
Good for him.
Because everything else that I need to do on him, I can't really do tonight. I need him to be fully dry for.
Oh, what are you gonna do? Like highlighting and dry brushing and stuff?
A little bit of highlighting, and then also doing a null oil bath to get like
oil.
all those bath is the wrong word, but
like a coat of oil?
Yeah, it gets all the crevices nice and dark.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I never thought of that. Oh, robot. Let's see. A little better. At least I could hear you. I could hear you that time. Oh, you're back in. There you go. You're good.
Fantastic. But yeah, so that's the wonderful thing about Null Oil. So, since I'm kind of
Null
finished,
a wonderful thing?
yes, with that guy, I will be working on this blue horror
that you're going to be painting pink.
That I have painted pink. I'm just
he's already pink. There you go.
Yeah. I think I painted him at the end of our test session, and he's just been sitting on my shelf, staring at me.
So what's really fun with this like bluer purple is that I can kind of go over the magenta in some spots.
You are slightly off of your camera.
Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's really cool.
So, like, it looks like the bluish purple's kind of getting into the darker shadowy crevices.
Love it.
Yeah. Also, I'm just kind of doing a coat. Like, I'm just kind of gently going over spots that there's, like, tiny little white speck because I missed.
Sure.
Oh, so, I don't know if you can see. Oh, you should be able to. On the base of it, there's some rocks and a sword and stuff.
Yeah.
He's a very top-heavy figure.
Right.
And he didn't really come with a base. So, I have a disc that I painted, but I have the other side too. This is a naval coin, like a military coin. I think it was 3D printed. But I like using these because they're really, they're heavy, but they're plastic. And so I outlined the bottom of it where the base would be, and I'm gonna put some hot glue along the edge of it, and then I have a bunch of I have a jar of rocks.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm just gonna stick them on there. I don't think I'll be doing it tonight. I'll probably do it off screen, because what I'll do is I'll put them all in there, and then I'll do a black coat and I'll dry brush and stuff, and then I'll just I'll super glue this guy into it, so he'll have a nice big base.
If you wanted, we could do a model construction paint of heart.
Sure.
Because I have 4 horrors that need to be slightly different models now.
Interesting.
Because the rules changed.
Oh no.
And I no longer can have a unit of 30 horrors. I have to have 3 units of 10 horrors.
Gotcha.
Which means I need more bannerets and instrument players, because they
delightful.
You get 1 banneret and 1 instrument player per unit, which used to be up to 30, now is 10. So I have to cut the arms off of a bunch of horrors and glue different arms on, which I think is Zinch sanctioned, so I'm not too terribly worried.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to do the last bit for this guy's body is going to be the mouth, which glad I picked the slaughter red, because that's going to be the inside of his mouth hole. Sorry, that was a terrible way to put that.
No, it's fine.
Also, we both are on our computers with our paintbrushes in our mouths. Alrighty. Let's see. But this color ended up, or this brush ended up being very good for the beholder, because now I can sort of now I can have I can get into his mouth.
Nice.
Easily with the little. Alright, so we're gonna go. Oh, let's get back on the camera.
Alrighty, what do I need to do?
I hate this. It's so gross. He's perfect, but he's gross.
Right. Okay, you need your tongue painted. Your claws.
That's what I'm doing.
Nice. So for most horrors,
Mm-hmm.
I either use Caliban green
Okay.
or wog flesh green.
Okay.
As the
Wog flesh.
mouth color. Wog, Waagh,
Amazing.
is what the orcs call war. That's the orc word for war.
Awesome.
So like that's the.
It just makes me think of the fish people in Baldur's Gate that are like Boal.
The Koatoa, my
Yeah.
precious little babies.
Did you sacrifice someone to them?
No, I just killed Buwal.
It took me till like a third play to realize that they're just mispronouncing ball.
Oh, it's so good, isn't it?
I was like, God damn it. That's so good.
I love Kuatoa so much.
I'm playing a Dark Urge right now, and without spoiling anything, I'm very excited to get to the Kuatoa because of that.
No.
One second, Colton. You're fritzing out. Give it a moment. So I am gonna paint over this. I'm gonna fix it, but like, God, it looks like he's got so much blood on his teeth. He looks like he freshly bit into someone. I mean, I could just leave it like that.
I support it.
There you go. Hi, welcome back.
Hi.
Seriously, that's really funny. He's just got like...
I love it.
Alright, so I'm gonna try that.
What was I saying?
Gum
Oh,
line.
yeah. So this character is, he's a plasmoid, right? Which is the, like, ooze people.
Yeah.
But, due to circumstances that I would take too long to explain, he wears people's bones on the inside.
Okay.
So he has a collection of bones, like, of just full skeletons that he wears, like, as, like, jewelry or clothing. Yeah, like exactly.
Outfits. Oh my god.
And I've had it that he bought the skeleton of a Kuatoa god, and it's just real weird.
Amazing.
Right? I'm hoping one day to play him in Sigil.
Oh, delightful.
I want him to be a lawyer. And speak in a very affectatious southern accent.
Nah, I'm just a poor country plasmoid.
Exactly.
Oh my god, that's so good.
I may be just a small town ooze, but
now I'm just a poor non-Newtonian individual. Okay, I will say, the one of the best dumb mechanics that I came up with was a non-Newtonian or a non-Newtonian fluid ooze that you have to roll low to hit.
I love that. That is brilliant.
Yeah, I thought that was super fun, and I'm like, yes, absolutely. What an asshole move, but great. Because for some reason I'm obsessed with figuring out weird ways to make my players have to roll.
Right. See, you're nicer than I am. Because how I would have done that is its AC changes each round. Like, after every time it gets hit.
The AC goes up because it becomes harder.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which I think probably is statistically more difficult to hit, but I'd have to...
Oh, yeah, I would imagine.
Especially if you have, like, your heavy hitter first in initiative order.
And that's what happened with me when I threw that fucking golem. That golem was a CR 20. They killed it in 2 rounds. They're level 12.
Jesus.
And I upped the hit points on it. I just didn't have any chance to to do the cool shit it was gonna do. Like, I'm proud of them. I'm glad for them.
Right.
It left an impression. It was supposed to.
And that's the important thing. Combat in
Yeah.
D&D isn't... They're going to win, right? Unless it's going to be a TPK, which...
Can happen. When I was first starting, I accidentally didn't, like, level the combat correctly, and I knocked a character out.
Oh no.
At 3rd level. Just boom. I'm dead. I'm unconscious. I was like, oh shit. This thing's gonna kill them. Had to very quickly on the fly adjust, because I was like, this was too much.
My first ever D&D game, it was like whatever Wizards did, like when they first came out with 5e.
Mm-hmm. Phandelver, like probably.
Yeah. It was the like Phandelver with like the pre-generated characters. I played Taco the Wizard because
Amazing.
it was the stat block that came with the module.
Sure.
Right? It came with a wizard, an elf wizard, a dwarf cleric, and a human fighter.
Yep.
I was playing the wizard. That goblin encounter that happens in the first, 3 seconds of Phandelver immediately killed my character.
Oh, no.
The first attack, crit, and it was double the hit points of my character.
Holy shit.
Crit, full roll. So it was just an instant death, and I'm like, oh. Well...
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And then, this was my first game. This was the DM's first game. We didn't know what we were doing. So I was like, can I play a goblin? So one of the, goblins in the cave became my new PC.
That's so good.
I don't remember exactly, what it was, why the character... I don't think it mattered. I don't think there was a reason. But, yeah, so I played a little goblin. Who just so happened to have all the spells and same stats as an elf
so
as well.
Weird. Yeah, he's just a buff little goblin, dude.
Yeah. But, because I, didn't know how to create a character at that point.
Okay. I love playing little dudes sometimes. I have one in my back pocket at some point. I'm gonna play a frog bard.
I love that.
She has an accordion. It's great.
I have a character for a game that, I'm not sure it's ever going to pop off. It's been in pre-production for, God, about 2 years now.
Yeah, that's just a headcanon at that point.
But he is a frog monk.
Love it.
But he's one of those see-through frogs.
Oh, I love it.
So you can see all his organs
frog
and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so I found out something really cool about glass frogs. Because you know how you can see through them? Shouldn't that be a disadvantage to survival? And then I found out that they can constrict their blood vessels so that it all gathers in one spot so they can hide better.
They're crazy.
Cool. Nature's fucking weird.
It is.
And awesome. So
there's this kind of snail that I love.
Okay, a kind of snail, not it's sort of a snail.
yes. A specific species and or type of snail.
I'm with you now.
It lives in the deep sea, next to hydrothermal vents, and
because
of that, there's a large amount of iron in the water, and it's developed iron scales as well as its shell.
Cool. That's awesome.
It's called the scaled snail or the scale snail. And
so it sounds like a close cousin to the flail snail.
Yes. Precisely. And I love them with all my little heart. Also, if I ever get a pet, I'm going to break the law and get a giant African land snail.
They'll eat your house. No, they're like hardcore. It was hilarious during quarantine when one of the more rural Florida counties got into like hardcore lockdown mode because of the giant snails.
Oh no.
But then people were like, oh yeah, we don't need to lock down. But the fucking snails, man! That means business, because property values.
Yeah, they are metal as hell. I love bunny slugs. They're adorable.
You beat me to it, Hope. Yeah, I was gonna say bunny slugs are adorable. They look like little sheep.
I pretty much love anything without a skeleton. Like, mammals, I don't care.
It's like, listen, I identify with the spineless. That's all I heard. I was like, this feels weirdly self-deprecating.
Me, self-deprecation about my skeleton. No.
Alrighty. So heads up, everybody. We're going to be wrapping up soon. And we'll either pick this up next week or I'll finish it this week. Probably hold on to it, though. This stream is an excuse to do these things. I don't have to do them beforehand. I'll have to decide if I'm going to do it. Obviously, I don't think the teeth and the eyeball should stay a perfect white. I did see a very cool color idea, which, you know what? I'm going to do that right now before we go so that I remind myself to do it. All right, I'm going to clean up. I'm going to use malignant green.
I love that name.
Which looks more like a yellow, but I'm excited to try it. Oh yes, perfect. All right. And then at some point I'm going to have to... So I'm probably going to have to give this motherfucker eyeliner.
I suppose.
Because the way that I have discovered to mark up eyeballs is to get some ultra fine point Sharpies. So this little guy, so these have very, very fine tipped ends to them. And so I've seen some people mark up so like say this is the eyeball, and they just can go boop, and you can't see it at all, but there's a tiny little mark. So you can make pupils in figurines that have normally very small eyeballs that you can't do that well in.
I love that.
Well, I'm excited because I have a pigment liner, which is like a really dark black. So that'll probably be what I go when it dries. I'm gonna go along. They even have like a tiny little eyelid crease on this thing. So that's what I'm probably gonna go over it with, is this dark marker. Rather than trying to paint with a needle. Which I do have one now. I got this scrapey tool from a dollar store paint set that has a spatula scraper on one side and then just a straight up needle on the other side.
I was
like, okay, sure. All right.
I have scalpel blades in my paint kit.
Hey, that's fair.
I mean,
will
I
be
also
putting-
just have a scalpel because I need to. It's
So
really
these
good
are
for
my-
getting rid of mold lines.
these are my paints. I haven't put them in RBG order yet. RBG? I keep doing that. No,
Ruth
RBG.
Bader Ginsburg?
Oh, yes, Ruth Bader
Ruth
Ginsburg. Okay,
Ginsburg
no.
Bader?
Listen. We were joking about it the other day at a wedding. I was joking with some people that I met about our about mixing those up. And now I want to make a design that is Ruth Bader Ginsburg in like Technicolor that says
that.
RGB, the notorious RGB. I think it would be great. So anyway, one piece that I'm going to work on eventually. Oh, here, first of all, I want you to see my snow. This is my, my stone giant. This is the first time I tried doing, slap chop, and I don't think I did it. I think I can do better. So I'm going to probably go over him a little bit again. But
I still think it turned out really well.
I mean, it's a great piece. I really enjoy the piece.
Yeah.
But so at some point, I'm going to be working on this guy. This guy is a metal troll. Got it from like an official D&D set, and he's got a bunch of holes and things on him, lines. And I discovered today that the green stuff, which if anyone doesn't know, is a putty mixture that is in blue and yellow, and you mix it together, and it creates a putty that will become very hard and is good for miniatures. But you can get liquid green stuff, and it is specifically for this exact thing.
Really?
So I'm gonna get it. It's like $9 on Amazon for like probably one of these little, probably like the speed paint size, or maybe it looks like a Citadel paint actually, like the little pot that they come in. But so you can get this liquid stuff, and it is just, I think, just a watered down green stuff. And the entire point of it is not to mold things, but to fix the lines in figures. So I'm going to get that at some point so that I can make this troll look much better. Because right now he literally has like mold lines down his neck. I'm like, you need a facelift.
It's a metal, right?
I could make him a golly. Yeah, it's a metal piece. When I first stripped the paint off of him, not all of it came off, so he had like a Terminator half of his face in pewter, and then some paint on the other side. I'm like, this is horrifying, and I kind of dig it.
Honestly, I say do that. Like,
make him a metallic monster.
Yeah.
Leave the circle as like a little okay. As like a little power core. Okay, I'm actually sold. Okay, fine. I am still gonna get some green stuff, but I won't get it right away. Because that's awesome. That's a great idea. Well, Mecha Troll at some point. I'll have to add to him. He needs more stuff on him now. Because right now he literally just has like a loincloth. If he's gonna be a mecha troll, he needs some more stuff. Or some more shapes and things.
Have it as a infiltrator sort of thing, where like if you can get a second copy of that same model, you can.
Oh, you have a troll that looks like a troll, and then like you take some of the stuff off, and his like face rips off.
Yep.
So that just reminds me of Andy ran a game that was literally Westworld. The characters were fantasy and didn't know that they were hosts in Westworld.
I love that.
Yeah, it was great. Because they'd meet people, like they were becoming sentient, and then they found like a control room that they thought was like a wizard's tower, and they found things about, like they found that they were being programmed there, and it got them out into the main park. It was a very fun idea.
That's brilliant. I love that.
Yeah, he ran that for a bunch of his attorney friends.
Nice.
The real trick that I'm going to be working on is at some point, I'm going to be working on my pieces that I have not yet made into, I'm not yet primed.
Okay.
Because they all have translucent pieces. And
yes.
So I'm going to have to hand prime them. And then I have a bunch of stained glass paint or the speed paints. I can try the speed paints and just paint directly onto the clear to make the magic effects and stuff.
Nice.
But like, I even have a little goblin who has a little translucent torch. It's so cute. Yeah. I love having different types of goblins because I am incredibly fond of the really big head goblins, the ones with the little red beady eyes. They're very cute. But I also like ones that just kind of look like green people.
So. My favorite goblin designs I've ever seen
Mm-hmm.
are from Magic and are from the plane Kylum.
Okay.
Which is this it's the esports plane. Like everything's based on like competition and like spectacle and like combat and stuff. And the goblins have like massive floppy ears.
Mm-hmm.
And they're so adorable.
Aww. All right. So, we have a raid. Ink and Ignorance. Hello.
Well, thank you. Hi.
Welcome. We're wrapping up a little bit, but you can check out our pieces that we've been working on for the last couple hours.
Got
the Bowie Best Goblin. Yes, very much. Hi everybody. So we're gonna be a weekly stream. This was our first session. So our first official stream. But we're just gonna be working on I work on D&D figures and Colton works on Warhammer 40k figures, and we just chat and shoot the shit and stuff. So I've got my beholder here, my Reaper beholder that I'm gonna be polishing up next week, and I've got my Forest Guardian that I did earlier. Absolutely adore him. I'm gonna be doing some highlighting on him probably next time. Because he's a little orange, and I want to do eyes on him too. I want to give him some glowy eyes. Thanks, Hope. Appreciate the support. And Colton's been painting pink horrors blue and blue horrors pink, because he feels like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if anybody wants to continue chatting with us and sharing any art projects that you're doing, please feel free to join our Discord server. That's for all of Nerdsmith. We have lots of actual plays, some long-running stuff, and some short-form things. Like this week we have continuing the Copper Pyramid, which is an eldritch horror game in the Fundamental system made by a friend of the network, Raven. And we have on Friday Dragon's Crown, which Franz runs the Horde of the Dragon Queen D&D adventure, but in his and my opinion makes it better because we'll say it's a practice in fixing something that you hate. So he decided to make it better. And then on Monday, we do Nerdsmith Pixel, which is our video game stream, and we're playing Baldur's Gate, which we put a Y in because we're all a bunch of queer weirdos. But you can find our RP-heavy Baldur's Gate multiplayer game that we run, and that's on Mondays. But you can find us at nerdsmith.org, or if you liked what you watched today, you can consider supporting us long-term or short-term or whatever on our Patreon, patreon.com/nerdsmith. I'm going to be working on some stuff. Colton helped out with a couple of pieces that I'm going to be putting on the World Anvil about fantasy public works and utilities, things that you might want to put into your game. It's specifically designed for GMs that might want to have an explanation for how sewers work in their city if they have overly curious players. And those will be Patreon. Some of that stuff will be Patreon exclusive. If you want to get stat blocks and maps and things that are specific for those ideas. See, I didn't go for it, Maury, but I should have. Queerdos. But yeah, so please join us next week. Bring your crafting with you. We look forward to seeing it. We do not have any sort of formal sign-off situation yet, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Before we do sign off, I would like to plug my thing.
Please.
Friend of the Network podcast for Light and Dice. I'm on it. It's a Star Wars actual play podcast where we go and fly around the galaxy, and nothing ever bad happens in the High Republic. Don't even worry about it. It's great. It's fine. It's called the High Republic for a reason, because everything is great all the time. And yeah, we're fun. We're entering our second season, and nothing bad is happening. Everything is fine. It's fine. So yeah, come listen. We're on every podcast platform. And yeah, we're it's great. So thank you very much.
I'm excited to listen to it and not fall asleep during it, even though I do appreciate that concept of supporting your fellow podcasters by taking a nap during shows to give them views or listens.
Yeah. Just put it on.
Oh, I love that, Hope. Okay, I'm going to borrow that for a little bit. We'll see how it feels. All right, everybody. Please feel free to check out our sponsors. You guys are amazing, and they are too. We're sponsored by World Anvil, Die Hard Dice, which is still doing its holiday sale. Thank you, Gara Lover. Thank you for the follow. We are also affiliates of Hero Forge. It is December, which means it is their adventure calendar season. Every single day, there's a new asset being added to Hero Forge. Hopefully culminating in something fun at Christmas, but we'll see. But everything's been very delightful so far, including the first thing they put out, which was a little drone friend, which is so cute. It has like little smiley eyes. It's very sweet. But you can check that out if you use the link there and decide to buy Hero Forge Pro. You get access to those. On Tuesdays, you get access to Treasure Tuesday, which is just sneak previews of all the new assets that come in. You get it a week early. And you can find the community library of all of their stuff. And what happened? Somebody tried to put a link. Well, who tried to put a link in? I can try to fix it.
That was me.
I put a link to your Twitter on there, so at least we'll get a code going so that you can it'll be easy to do that.
Sounds good.
And finally, we are also sponsored by Grinding Coffee. They're a Black LGBTQ owned business. They sell coffee and coffee subscriptions, and they are a bunch of really cool people. If you need a caffeine fix, you can get 10% off with the code Nerdsmith. That's also the case on Die Hard Dice. You get 10% off with the code Nerdsmith. So go get your dice and your caffeine fixes. Those are both addictions that our network is fully endorsing. Anyway, Colton, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah, thank you very, very much for having me. It's been fun, and you're stuck with me for at least this month. So,
no, it'll be great. So very much looking forward to seeing your, I was going to say shining faces, but it's chat, your lovely usernames next week, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, and yeah, let's try it. Everybody, have a wonderful rest of your night. Have a great week. Be safe, be smart, make good choices. Remember to live life and paint from the heart. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Good night.
Bye, all. Good night.